Today, we're going to review a portfolio of a Flux Academy graduate who just moved away from working at Big Corp to full-time freelancing on her own with a new portfolio. Let's check it out. Hey designer friends, what is up? My name is Ron Segal, and if it's your first time here at Flux, welcome. This is where we help you become a better designer and make a living as a designer. And today, I want to show you a portfolio of a recent graduate from Flux Academy. She has just graduated from one of our programs, and as part of it, she rebuilt a new portfolio, and I want to cover it today and show you her work. So let's get started. So her name is Chloe, and her studio name is Hanalot Studio. And first, when I load it, it has this nice intro animation, and especially this now booking January and beyond, reserve your spot is kind of moving, and I like this because it immediately grabs your attention into what she wants you to pay attention, like I'm available, you can book me right now. Now you can see, I'm just going to scroll through this initially, and then we're going to break it down, but it has this kind of like a newspaper layout with big typography, and has this kind of like at the top with established. You can see it was established this year, and with the navigation, it looks newspapery like, and I like this. Feels like you're reading an editorial and not looking in a portfolio cliche where you just have the grid of some works. Now, one more thing that I noticed even before I'm diving down into the type stuff is how well the image is taken. So the image is super professional. The image also works very, very well with the color scheme of the whole website. So we have this kind of like a beige, tan background and blue title, and it reflected really nicely in the photo here. So immediately, I feel like it's professional, right? It has good typography and good imagery. Immediately it screams professional, so well done on that to begin with. Now we have here helping founders transform their ideas into reality so that they can share them with the world. Feels like a good kind of like intro and value proposition. Very clear who she's helping and what she's helping them to do. Then we have here at the top holistic strategy, branding, and web design, which I guess is the services. One thing I can say about this typography is that the tracking, which is the spacing between the letter, is a little tight here. So it all looks like it's very hard to see the spaces. I would space this out just a little bit more to make it a little bit more readable. But other than that, let's see what she's writing. For those who are ready to show up, grow up, make money, and make waves, and look good while doing it. I like this. This really speaks to the founder and what they're trying to achieve. I would also be a little bit mindful when it comes to typography to not leave just single words. Now, sometimes you can't control it, but here specifically, it looks like it was possible to change this because this is kind of like the set size on desktop. So these ones, this single words, we call them orphans or widows when we have a single word at the end of the line, and usually we try to avoid these things. We have what we do, who we help, and that looks pretty good and pretty clear. I always like when it's very, very clear who the audience is and how you can help them. Then we have a little bit of case study. So first of all, some images to show you it looks good. It's called for. You can see she is a good designer just from scrolling through this. We'll click on these projects in a second. Then we're moving into a testimonial, which is always good, some compliments. This looks good. Schedule a discovery call to discuss your project. Okay, so let's check out one of these projects and see how a case study looks like. So this one is, I guess, a boutique law firm gets a rebrand and a website redesign to support new strategic direction. All right, so it has the industry, services, a little bit of background on the project. One thing that I can say even before I'm going to read this is it looks like a very long paragraph to read, and the text is very small. So it's not really appealing for me to start reading it. I would either make the font a little bigger and also reformat it, just maybe separate the paragraphs within this, because when you see a huge chunk of text like this, it's a little bit overwhelming. But overall, nice mock-ups. I always prefer, obviously, I think it looks so much better when people put their work within context in nice mock-ups versus just a screenshot of the website. So even though we're seeing basically the same screen here, it's just the mobile version and the desktop version, it's still nice to see it in different contexts. Maybe I would think about maybe animating one of those to see a little bit of interaction and some movement there. But overall, overall, it's a nice little case study about this project. What else do we have here? Let's go into the About. We take 360 degrees approach to solving your problems. Here's this. Okay. Again, a very professional taken photo, which is really helpful here. And also the newspapery-like layout is really apparent here in this kind of like editorial a little bit about her with a little quote about her. So I like this. It looks very, very professional. I love all of these logos. I would say, oh my God, these are amazing logos. Why aren't they on the front page? But my assumption is that these are some brands that Chloe worked with probably in her previous works and maybe not in the context of this studio. So maybe it's not appropriate to put them as clients of the studio, but it's still very, very impressive. And one thing that I really like about this website is the choice of typography and the layout here that, again, looks very newspapery-like, but also very kind of like up-to-date, very, very cool and hip with these great images. What else do we have here? Let's go into the contact and see if there's anything interesting here. Can't wait to meet you. Discovery call, schedule now. All right, so that is it. I think overall, really nice portfolio for somebody who's just coming into her freelance game, jumping up into freelance with a few projects and something that looks very, very established and very, very professional from the get-go. So really impressive. Well done, Chloe. And if you have your own portfolios that you want us to review, make sure to drop them in the comments. We're picking them up and doing a review every once in a while. And of course, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed for the next video on design and freelancing. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.